Hello, welcome to European Open Briefing for Monday, October 29th. I'm Rafi Boyajian, currency analyst at XM.com, and we're going to be having a look at what's happening in the currency markets today. We still have some risk off at the start of the week, following that sell-off on Friday where we saw further losses on Wall Street. This morning, though, the losses were limited mainly to China. We saw the main indices there falling by between 2 and 3% on the back of data over the weekend showing that industrial profits slowed further in China, raising concerns about the growth outlook. But if you have a look at other Asian indices and in Europe as well, we are seeing stocks starting positively, and we're seeing some recovery in risk appetite. The dollar, though, remains on a firm footing. We saw it on Friday, reaching a 10-week high at the moment. It did reverse lower towards the end of the day. This morning it's moving back up again at 96.49. Dollar yen also stabilizing after touching a fresh low. It's currently trading at 111.95. Looking at European currencies, both the euro and the pound continue to struggle against the dollar. They did make some gains earlier in the Asian trading session. Now they've turned somewhat lower. Euro currently trading at 1.1386, sterling just above the 1.28 level. So we've got some political concerns weighing on the euro and for sterling. Well, there's not much happening with Brexit in recent days, other than the fact that talks appear to have stalled. So sterling has mainly been following the euro lower, but we do have the UK budget announcement coming up later today, so we could see some impact of that on sterling as the UK finance minister is expected to announce an end to austerity in the UK. Having a look at the risk-sensitive Australian dollar, it is more or less flat against the US dollar. It did fall sharply towards the end of last week, so now we're seeing the Aussie making up some ground, but the gains are of course being capped by that China data on industrial profits. And having a look at commodities, oil prices continue to drift lower. WTI down by 0.5% as the weakening growth outlook is weighing on oil, on commodities, and in oil in particular. And looking at gold, though, gold did jump higher on Friday. It's now slightly, about 0.3% lower at $1,229 an ounce. So gold has been doing much better recently on the back of that risk aversion in the markets. Having a look at the main performance, the Kiwi dollar is the biggest gainer this morning. That was mainly due to sharp losses last week. So now we're seeing the reversal of those losses, followed by dollar, Swiss franc, and at the bottom we've got gold reversing some of Friday's gains, followed by oil prices. Let's now take a look at the US dollar in more detail. We can see on the left-hand side the dollar index. It's still fairly bullish, so we can see in the short term it's slightly more neutral as the dollar index has fallen towards its 50 moving average, and we saw the 10-week highs of 96.86 on Friday. We had the third quarter GDP numbers out of the US, which came in slightly above expectations at 3.5% on an annualized basis. If we look at dollar yen, though, we can see the pair moving below its moving averages, so it's looking somewhat bearish in the short term, mainly that's due to yen strength, as the yen has been benefiting from the risk-off mood in the past, pretty much throughout October, and of course, so even against the yen, against the dollar, the yen is a much more stronger safe haven currency. It did touch a 1.5 months low of 111.36 as the US stocks on Friday had another negative session. The S&P 500 closed at a near 6-month low as tech earnings disappointed, and we're also seeing some concerns about the US growth outlook as the US Federal Reserve continues to raise interest rates. Having a look now at the euro, we can see that downtrend continues for the euro-dollar pair. It's struggling to reclaim the 1.14 level after slumping to a 2.5-month low 1.1332 on Friday. There was some relief as S&P didn't downgrade Italy's credit rating, although the outlook was revised to negative, so we could possibly get a credit rating downgrade in the future. But there was some fresh political concerns out of Germany as Angela Merkel's party and her coalition partners suffered in regional elections. So we're seeing continuation, further weakening of Angela Merkel's grip on power in Germany. The main concern, though, for the euro-dollar pair is Italy's budget, as politicians in Italy are insisting on sticking to their spending plans for 2019, even though the European Union has already rejected those spending targets. And finally, looking at gold, we can see that spike on Friday to near 3.5 months high, $1,243 an ounce. So the gold has been one of the main beneficiaries of that sell-off in global equities. We are seeing some recovery in risk appetite this morning, but there are still concerns about the weakening global growth outlook, particularly in China. Those industrial profits are slowing for a fifth straight month in September, and that could be an indication of weakening domestic demand in China. So we could see gold making further upwards ground in the near term. And finally, looking at what's coming up later on, the big focus will be on US personal consumption and PCE inflation numbers. That's it from me. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.